and it struck me as this thing was dragging on that every day it was getting easier for the legislature not to do its job rather than harder for for them to do their job. And I announced several weeks ago that I would have to make adjustments to the spending plan that I had put out publicly, and I actually got that done sooner, so we announced it late last week, and put up, I think, about $44 million more toward the social service community provider and not-for-profit network that provides, a lot of the services to that about 650,000 people in Connecticut that we play a very direct role in caring for. At the same time, on the ECS side, I certainly was hearing some of the same things from communities that you've been hearing, and then began concentrating on what is my constitutional requirement, and that is that the state provide a free education. We're trying to make judgments about who can sustain their expenditures and who cannot sustain their expenditures in support of the constitutional requirement of a free education. And it became relatively easy to look at the same school districts that we're having great success with, the Alliance districts, where most of our testing improvement, where most of our graduation improvement is actually coming from. Those are the 30 districts that disproportionately educate our children in poverty. And so I thought it was appropriate to make sure that they saw the monies that they rely on. We also have calculated by community what percentage of their budgets come from state government. And so we have a sliding scale that applies to those communities other than the Alliance districts. And none of this would be necessary if the legislature would pass a budget. And all of this can be corrected at some point when the legislature passes a budget. But for instance, communities like Hartford and New Haven and Bridgeport and others would be extremely adversely impacted by our failure to make those payments in a timely fashion. In essence, Hartford would run out of money. And whether we want them to go bankrupt or not, at least on a cash balance basis, they would be bankrupt come sometime in October. So, I have multiple missions that I have to accomplish as governor. Honor the Constitution of the state, provide services, particularly to our neediest citizenry, bring into fruition a collective bargaining adjustment for the second time, which is unprecedented, and still run the state. So I'm trying to get it all done in a way that I don't want to do it, quite frankly. I didn't advertise for this power. I don't think we should be running the state by executive order, but in the absence of Republicans and Democrats in the legislature doing their job, I'm left to make the best decisions and recommendations that I can, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm not hiding from that. I'm with your reporters in person or on TV just about every day. So I'm prepared to talk about all of those things.
Well, so what is your message to residents in Connecticut? I mean, should they be telling their elected officials, get up there and get a budget done, and then the pain will be a lot less?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what I'm saying, is that, we have to continue the process of making difficult decisions. Let me go back to something that I didn't touch on, and that is, communities saying that they're going to be heard. Well,